Yeah.
That's not the name your parents gave you that's on your driver's license?
No, that's not grammatically correct. That is not my given name on my driver's license.
All right. What name did your parents give you?
I guess I'm not understanding why you don't have my change of address.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
done
get
over the
I don't
internet.
get that.
Here.
We are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Miss Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Let's see. September 4th, the defendant failed to appear. Miss Phillips, I trust you posted that $1,000 cash or surety bond.
Well, yes, I didn't have a choice.
Right. Well, you could have stayed in jail, but that's not a very good choice. All right. We are showing in count one that you were driving, the state's alleging you were driving without a tag or an expired tag, November 8th of 23. And then that the vehicle not only had an expired tag, but a plate was on there that wasn't assigned to it.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
with
Amended.
court certification, I am showing that an amended information was filed back in June of 2024.
Okay, let me go off of that one then. Is this the case where she was here and there were allegations of identity theft or something? I remember her name associated with that. That case was dismissed, wasn't it?
Your Honor, I would need to review my notes further, but the state's understanding is that is an unrelated matter.
Unrelated. Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Phillips, there is an amended information, as counsel said, that was filed June 12th of 2024. And that, the official charging document that you're on today, alleges in count one that you were on November 8th, 2023 in Butler County operating a motor vehicle on a highway of this state while displayed was a license plate or registration decal other than the one assigned. As charged, this is an unclassified misdemeanor and it carries a fine up to $2,500 and a sentence of 30 days to 6 months. Failure to register, count two, was dismissed by the state on June 11, 2024. Then in count three, you're accused of operating that vehicle without insurance or at least being able to provide proof. That is as charged, a B non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, there is a $300 fine up to $1,000 and up to 6 months in the county jail. Count four alleges that you apparently moved from the address given when you applied for and received your Kansas driver's license, and you failed to notify the Division of Motor Vehicles of the new address within 10 days after moving. This charge is an unclassified misdemeanor, which typically carries a fine up to $500 and a possible sentence up to 30 days. I don't know what your history is. I don't know if
That should have also been dropped because I brought that in. I did that over the internet.
I'm sorry, what did you bring in?
I dropped that. Oh, I did that over the internet. My change of address and had brought that in. The date that was on my actual ticket that the officer gave me, I came in on that date. There was no court date. I brought in that change of address then.
Are you going to want an attorney to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you going to be able to hire an attorney or do you need to apply for counsel?
I can try and hire an attorney.
You think you have the means to do so? Okay. Well, if you don't, please get an application. You might take an application with you in case you don't. Like maybe you get out there and you find out that they're more expensive than you thought or something like that. So while you're here in the courthouse, it doesn't hurt to take a form with you. And if you need a court appointed, get that back to me soon. Don't wait till your next court date.
Sure.
Because unfortunately, the next attorney docket traffic date, Destiny, is that April 16th also?
No, Your Honor, that would be March 17th.
Oh, well, okay. March 17th. You need to be back here March 17th. That's St. Patrick's Day. So March 17th at 9 a.m. with your attorney ready to proceed.
Here is a quick preview. She returned on March 17th, but no attorney appeared beside her. Our sovereign citizen will reveal exactly why later in today's courtroom disaster.
Next one up is Tracy Phillips. She's pro se.
Okay. We are on the record in 23 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. Defendant Tracy Phillips appears in person and pro se. Miss Phillips, this is, of course, not your first appearance. That was back September 4th. And you failed to appear at that hearing. Then you were here January 8th. And you wanted to hire an attorney. You were informed if you were able to hire, you needed to fill out an application, which apparently you did not do.
Not for a public defender, no.
So how do you want to proceed on these 4 traffic charges: driving without tag, driving without tag displayed, driving without insurance, and driving without changing your address or phone or no?
Yeah, I changed my address. I wasn't driving this vehicle. I mean, I drive a company truck.
All right, so you're pleading not
so-
guilty. You want this set
Yes,
for
ma'am.
trial?
Yes, I do.
And are you going to have an attorney represent you?
I'm going to try to. I'm trying to find an attorney.
Okay, but you don't want to apply for court appointed, is that right?
No, I don't. Last one threw me under the bus. I prefer not to do that.
Okay, we're going to go to trial at 1:30 on, what's your next trial date, Jen?
May 14th.
May 14th at 1:30. You must be back here. You can either be in person or by Zoom, May 3rd
Okay.
or May 14th at 1:30.
Okay,
But with or without counsel, we're going to take this to trial because.
not a problem.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. You're excused at this time.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Judge Webster made the position clear. Attorney or no attorney, the trial would move forward during the following hearing. That brings our timeline into today's event.
Let's check in with Tracy Phillips. She is a pro se defendant in court security. Now, Ms. Phillips, you're charged, we're not on the record yet, but Ms. Phillips, you're charged with a tag violation, another form of tag violation,
What?
no liability insurance, and not changing your address. We are set for trial. Are you wanting to have a trial on that, Ms. Phillips, or do you want to try to talk to the county attorney and come to a resolution? What's your plan on this, since you're representing yourself?
I'm sorry. I just assume be done with it. I mean, I can talk to the county attorney. I don't have an issue with that as well. I guess I'm not understanding why you don't have my change of address.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
done
get
over the internet?
that. I don't
Okay.
get that. It goes to Topeka Department of Revenue. It's for your
Well, it
driver's
was-
license.
Yes, well, it was brought in and should have been added to the long time ago when I first got the ticket.
Okay, but it's not like insure. Well, all right, we'll say that. Right now, we are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier appearing for the state. The defendant, Ms. Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Ms. Phillips, I understand that you're wanting to represent yourself on this matter. Is that correct?
Well, I don't have a choice.
Well, you have had the opportunity since November 8th of 23 to either
Yes, ma'am,
hire
I
an
did.
attorney
To
or
hire an
apply.
attorney. Nobody wants to take my case.
All right. And if you cannot afford an attorney, you've had
It's
the
not about not affording it.
You've
Because
had
I
the
have to need a hand to an attorney. Nobody wants to take my case to deal with Butler County is the
All
problem.
right. The alternative, if you could not afford it, you could have applied for court appointed. Am I correctly understanding you to say, though, that you could afford it, you just couldn't find an attorney to take the case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's
And
exactly what
so,
I'm saying.
all right. And so you're going to represent yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are
Is
we
any-
are we going by common law or admiralty law here?
You have to wonder whether she understands why attorneys keep avoiding this case. To answer her question, this courtroom follows Kansas law, the Kansas Revised Statutes.
Neither.
Well, we're going by statutory law in the state of Kansas.
And if
So
this is a trial, why is there no jury?
this is not a jury trial because it was set for bench trial. You didn't ask for a
Okay.
jury trial.
I didn't consent to any of this, but
All right. So you want to proceed with trial, or did you want to try to negotiate an outcome with the prosecutor?
I can speak with the prosecutor.
Well, I'm not trying to talk you into it. I'm just trying to afford you the opportunity that an attorney would take if he
Yes, ma'am,
represented
I
you.
understand. I understand.
All right. So what is your wish? Do you want, if he's willing to talk to you and try, if he's willing to consider a negotiation, are you wanting to do that?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Regier, when I ask you this, I don't mean to suggest you have to, or that there'll be consequences if you don't. But as I said, I just want to afford the defendant the opportunity, but that's subject to if you want to do it. So do you want to take the time, or are you willing to take the time to visit with her, or do you think there's any productive outcome possible from that?
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request clarification from the court whether it is finding that the defendant is representing herself and has appropriately waived her right to counsel. Based off of prior statements made on the record today, there does appear to be, if the court will pardon the conjecture, a certain degree of ambiguity on that point, and the state would be requesting a formal finding on the record, which would appear to be most procedurally appropriate.
All right. Is the officer still there with you, Miss Phillips?
I am.
Mhm.
Could you provide her with a written waiver of counsel to read?
I can.
Thank you. Let me know when she has that. Basically, Miss Phillips, I believe you'll find it to be a brief written statement for you to look over to make sure that you understand your rights concerning an attorney and that you know them, and that in spite of the rights, you want to waive them and proceed.
Oh, well, I can already tell you, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to waive your right to an attorney?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Then what are you going to do? I don't see an attorney.
No, ma'am, you don't, but that doesn't stop me from speaking with the DA if he is more than willing to.
Well, he doesn't want to do it until he makes sure that you are knowingly waiving your rights.
Because then I'm giving up a right to speak. That makes no sense, Your Honor. Truly.
Independent of whether you talk to him or not. Do
I'm sorry?
you want it, regardless of whether you talk to him or not, do you want an attorney?
Well, he said himself he didn't want, he wasn't willing to until I signed this waiver.
That's right,
Waiving my
because
right. He didn't want to speak to me until then.
if you're going to go out and get an attorney, he has to ethically go through the attorney. And that's why he is following his conscience on the ethical issue.
Okay.
And his obligations.
This whole thing is an ethical issue, ma'am. See,
You're muted. Deputy Wise, you muted?
That was me. I just explained to her what this waiver meant so that the attorney could talk to her.
All right. Well, be careful giving her legal advice. I think it could.
it wasn't. It was very simple.
I just tell her about
It
the
was
form.
layman's terms.
Okay.
No, Do you need me
Well-
to sign this?
Yes, put your name there and sign it there for me.
Only if you believe
I
you
need-
understand. Ms.
Yeah,
Phillips?
I know, I understand. Do I need to sign it in my straw man name or my birth name?
Well,
real.
your legal name.
Well, because that's two separate things.
Your legal name is separate from what?
The straw man that the government has created, which is what's on my driver's license.
Fine? Then use the exact name your mother shouted when she watched you tumble down those stairs headfirst when you were still a baby.
That's not the name your parents gave you that's on your driver's license?
No, that's not grammatically correct. That is not my given name on my driver's license.
All right. What name did your parents give you?
Tracy Lynn Phillips.
All right. And that's on your birth certificate?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's not the name on your
The
driver's
one the
license?
government created.
That's not the name on your driver's license? Tracy Lynn Phillips
No,
is not
it's
the name?
not. It's not the same one.
All right. What's the name on your driver's license?
Tracy Phillips.
Just Tracy Phillips? They took off
That
the
isn't
Lynn?
the one on the driver's license is not grammatically correct, ma'am.
All right. How is it not correct?
It's all in capitals.
Oh,
That's
I
not
see.
grammatically correct.
I see. Okay, I see where we're going. All right.
So I need to know, ma'am, am I supposed to put the one that's in all capitals? That's on my driver's license
I want
on here
you-
and then
I want
sign
you-
it
Miss,
as the entity to Tracy
I'm
Lynn
about ready
Phillips?
to run out of my patience with you. You need to settle
Okay.
down.
I'm
and
just
be
asking a question. I'm
You're-
just asking a
You're
question.
disrupting No, you're not. You're not
I'm
just
not
asking
disrupting
questions.
anything. I simply asked a question.
Look, Miss Phillips, you see that officer sitting next to you?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you know I have the authority to tell him to put you into custody until you're ready to cooperate? Now, I don't want to do that, but you're being
I don't-
belligerent and difficult in this court's opinion.
I don't understand what you're wanting from me. I'm really not being difficult.
All
I
right, I
simply
want you to
I
stop
simply asked-
talking for a moment, and I want you to tell me, did you read the form in front of you?
Yes, ma'am, I did read the form.
And you signed the form? No, you haven't signed it because you don't know what
I
name
have
to
it
use.
because I wasn't sure if I'm supposed to, what name am I supposed to add the one that's in capitals?
I want
Or
you to
mine.
sign your legal name.
Put your first name up here, or your name up there.
Deputy, please don't help her. I know you mean well, but I'm afraid that it could become a problem for you and her and me both.
I just showing her to where to write her name in the slot. So
I know, but I don't think you ought to be doing that. Thank you. I know you
There you
mean
go.
well. All right. So, do you have any questions about the document you just signed?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right. And you do know that you can hire an attorney? Yes or no?
I understand.
And do you understand if you could not afford an attorney, you could apply and see if one could be appointed? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And knowing that those two facts, you are waiving your right to counsel and representing yourself today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to counsel today on the record, both in writing and in oral fashion. Now, with that being said, Mr. Regier, I'll just open it up to whether or not you want to attempt any kind of negotiation with her, or if you want to proceed with the trial that we have scheduled and the witness that you have subpoenaed and appears today.
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this juncture, what I would tell the court is that for purposes of resolving this case short of trial, if the defendant pleads as charged to all charges, the state would be prepared to recommend non-reporting probation. The state does not have anything further to add at this time. The state would further be recommending, in addition to non-reporting probation, underlying sentences, court costs, and fines.
All right, Ms. Phillips. That's all he's going to say to you. Apparently, he's not going to meet with you privately,
That's fine.
but he is saying that he would recommend non-reporting probation
Uh,
if you plead his charge. So how do you want to proceed?
No,
Do you want
I'm sorry.
to proceed with your trial then?
Yes, ma'am.
Very well. Are there any
Don't
opening
agree with that.
statements? You don't agree with his offer?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay.
I would like to ask the officer if he has video of that day of me driving.
That sounds suspiciously like an attempt to cross-examine the state's witness, something properly reserved for the actual trial. And if her facts match those of every other script-reading sovereign citizen.
Now, we'll be back on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. All parties appearing as before. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Tracy Lynn Phillips, in person and pro se, having signed a waiver of counsel and orally waived right to counsel as well, both on the record. And we are ready to start the bench trial with Master Trooper Kane ready to testify, it looks like. But before he does, any opening statement, Mr. Regier?
Judge, can I say one
Yes.
thing? She took back that.
Go ahead, Deputy.
She took back that waiver, so that makes a difference.
All right, where's your attorney? Who's going to represent you?
We've already discussed that.
Well, you signed a written waiver. What do you mean you take it back? Do you mean you want to proceed with an attorney? You either have an attorney or you don't. Ms.
I don't know.
Phillips.
Your Honor,
Yes.
this whole thing, I don't even know what to do. I have tried to hire an attorney. I do not want a court appointed. Was thrown under the bus last time. I don't even understand why I have this ticket to begin with.
Well, that an attorney could help with that.
It's ridiculous.
But you have, I don't recall you gave me any indication before that we were going to have the issues today that we're having.
Because I was never allowed to say anything. There were issues, case in point, going to jail twice on a warrant, Mr. Reiger, that wasn't me. Quite obviously.
Is this still the same case that you said initially back in, a couple of years ago, it wasn't you?
Why I was initially here when I saw you the first time? Yes, that most certainly wasn't me. I'm not a 6-foot black man.
Okay. All right, Ms.
Apparently,
Phillips,
that's
we
what
need
it
to get on
says.
with.
That's what it says on the warrant. That's what it says on the warrant.
We need to get on with this hearing one way or the other. You have waived your right
I'm going to find an
counsel
attorney
now.
then.
Well, you will if I continue this to allow you to do so, because this case has gotten some age on it. It's a
Ma'am, it
2023 case.
Yes.
It's a 2023 case. Now, don't talk over me.
Just soon be
Stop.
done with it.
Stop. It's a 2023 case, and you failed to appear several times.
No, I did not,
And then-
ma'am. I did not fail to appear.
And we've been through this issue of the attorney for a while now. And by the way, I do show you failed to appear September 4th, 2024, and this is not open to debate or further discussion on that issue. The court's taking judicial notice of its own records. Now, you've had since the first appearance, September 4th, if you'd been here, but we weren't able to get you here until January 8th. And you told us you were going to hire an attorney, but that you were unable to find one, apparently. And there was discussion about you filling out an application for court appointed. So all of this, and that was back in January, and then we were going to come back in March, and we did. And that's when it was set for bench trial. But Mr. Regier, is this the continuation of that first case? Because the notes aren't gelling with what I recall in that other case.
One moment, Your Honor.
I think that was this 2019 case that was dismissed. Well, she was dismissed with one count of guilty to speeding, maybe. One of us may be confused on this because I show that you had a 2019 TR 1413. You were operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. That charge was dismissed in exchange for your plea of guilty to speeding.
No.
Well, that's what your record says. And
No.
that's what I'm thinking, that maybe you're running the two together. But anyway, Mr.
I
Regier,
never pled on that case.
All right. Well, maybe you were found guilty at trial, but it looks like you
No,
pled.
it never went to trial. Mr. Reiger was supposed to wipe that one and the other one off because it was obvious that it wasn't me. I have never lived in Topeka in my life.
All right.
That's the one you're talking about.
Mr. Regier, I'm ready to go to trial.
Your Honor,
Are you ready?
Your Honor, I believe the court had previously made reference to Butler County 19 TR 1413. The state's records indicate that there was a plea of guilty in 2019 to one count of speeding. And the state, what I would also tell the court is in the current case, actually on the docket today, 23 TR 3395, the state is prepared to proceed to trial.
All right.
And Your Honor, as a preliminary matter, is the court finding that the defendant has revoked her waiver of counsel in light of the statements on the record?
Well, I tell you, we've been all over the board on that, Miss Phillips.
I don't even have the 19.
Miss Phillips,
Yes,
this is your final answer that I'm wanting here. We're
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
stick with it. Are you waiving your right to an attorney or
ma'am,
are
I'm
you
not.
not?
No,
All
ma'am.
right. Now, you said you've talked to attorneys. None of them will take your case in
Yes,
Butler
ma'am.
County. What can you tell me that will be different if I continue this to allow you to find an attorney if none of them will work in Butler County?
I'm going to go across the street and speak with the one attorney that I haven't spoken with. And we'll more than, I'm sorry,
Who will that be?
Gail Jensen.
Does he expect you today?
No, ma'am, he does not.
And do you have any reason to believe he would take your case? Because I understood he was retired or trying to be retired.
Can I give you a guarantee that he will?
I'm not asking
take
for
my
a
case.
guarantee. I said, do you have reason to believe he'll take your case?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yeah. Oh, yes, ma'am. I do.
Okay. You have a history or something with him that makes you think that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what if he says no? Then what will you do?
Well, then I will get a recommendation from him. And if I show up next time without an attorney, well, then you can just throw me in jail.
Miss Phillips, I just have a hard time believing.
Ma'am, I am frustrated by this whole thing. The whole thing. Mr. Reiger, I don't know what this 19 case is, where I supposedly pled guilty to
You're
speeding.
not going to have a conversation with him.
None of this makes any sense to me. Oh, my
Miss Phillips,
gosh. I have to.
I really don't want to have that officer take you out to the jail, but
It ain't gonna happen.
oh, it might. Okay. Now, Mr. Regier, we've been at this for so long now. Looks like the original case was open November 16th of 23, but the ticket was issued November 8th of 23. And I'm not sure if this is the first time Trooper Kane has been subpoenaed in here or not. Because we did have.
What I would tell the court, Your Honor, is that today's setting does appear to be the first bench trial setting in this matter.
All right. So are you not objecting to the continuance? Or were you just stating a fact?
The state is merely stating a fact, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have an objection?
Your Honor, I think the court has already made its concerns about the age of this case and timely reaching a disposition. It would appear the defendant has made certain statements about, I guarantee, to use her words, that she will have Mr. Jensen represent him in this case. I have no personal knowledge to any communications they may not have. But again, in light of the age of the case, as well as the defendant's statements on the record, the state does believe a timely administration of justice is especially appropriate in this matter. And the state did issue its subpoenas for the presence of the officer. The officer has taken time out of his schedule to appear here today. And absent any other concerns the court may have, I will tell the court the state is prepared to proceed to trial. But again, acknowledging a defendant's right to counsel in these types of situations, but I'm not sure how the court wishes to reconcile that in light of the prior procedural history of this case and the statements made by the defendant on the record here today.
Well, I don't want to repeat. If I continue this, I don't want to repeat it today. I don't want to hear Miss Phillips. I want you, I don't want you to come in and use the excuse that no attorney will come to Butler County, because they do it all the time. I know they will. And I don't want you to sign a waiver. I don't want you to tell me you waive and then you take it back. You either are going to, this is your last chance, you're either going to get an attorney or we're going to proceed, because you have had since 2023 to get an attorney. And you said you have the money to do it. You said you don't want to use a court-appointed attorney. You said something about last time. You didn't apparently like the results of the last court-appointed attorney, maybe. But I'm not quite sure I'm catching everything you're throwing out there. So at this time, very reluctantly, I will continue this bench trial. Because yes, you're entitled to have an attorney, but you are not entitled to use it willy-nilly back and forth to delay proceedings or anything of that sort. So, Jenna, when's our next available bench trial?
Your Honor, I have July 16th.
Okay. We'll put it on July 16th at 1:30.
Your Honor.
Yes,
the
Michelle.
defendant is holding some paperwork in her hands. Can she read the case number off of that? I don't know if she's referring to the same case about being arrested.
Oh, okay. Do you have another case you've been here on besides the two we've mentioned today, Miss Phillips?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's that case number?
Yep, bear with me, please.
Sure. Miss Phillips,
Yes, ma'am.
please take note. Please take note. Disregard July 16th and take note.
Okay.
Your trial will be July 23rd at 1:30.
Okay.
All right. And at this time, I'm going to let you go, Trooper, unless for some reason you particularly want to stay around.
I appreciate it, ma'am. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
I believe this is case number 23TR2386.
Oh, that
I believe.
I don't know why that does not show up on the Odyssey history, but that sounds more like the time frame of when you were here before.
And Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Regier.
What I do show from my notes is that that case was last taken up by the court on December 11th, 2024. And the court did remove that case from the docket at the state's request.
Okay, and was that the speeding one?
No, that one was back in 2019. The one he's talking about was in 23, and that was speeding 91 in a 75, no insurance.
Yeah, because that was the one that,
and no driver's license
Yeah,
from
that
July
was the
12th
one-
to 23.
yes, ma'am, because that was the one that wasn't me, because I have never not had a driver's license. I've always had one.
Care to put money on that, Karen? Earlier, you insisted the license never truly belonged to you anyway, claiming it belonged to your straw man. Still, I'd bet everything in my pockets that.
That was the one that was supposed to have been dropped because
No,
it's
and
not me.
And that's another one that on August 26th of 24, you failed to appear, and a $2,000 cash or surety bench warrant was issued.
Yes, ma'am, because it's not me. Quite
right.
obviously.
All right.
Because on the warrant, there's a description
Your Honor,
of who
Yes.
they were looking for.
date of birth on this citation for that case that
Your
we're-
Honor, state would object at this time. This is being broadcast over YouTube. The state would have certain concerns about broadcasting personally identifiable
I
information.
was gonna say the year.
I'm sorry, Michelle, what was that?
The year of birth on this is 2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
would
you're
or 25.
Are you saying on the 23 case?
Yes.
Okay, that's probably why the state dismissed it. And now we've got this case.
Okay, so
The
Is-
23 case is still pending.
It is still pending. Does it have a docket date?
No.
All right, Mr. Regier, what's the state planning to do with that case? Are you dismissing it?
Your Honor, the state is still in the process of reviewing that case. What I would tell the court is, per the state's request at the last hearing in that case, the state did request that that matter be specifically taken off the court's docket, and the court did grant that request.
Well, you may be looking at speedy trial on the 23 case. But I do know that the defendant had several, as I was looking at the docket notes, she did have at least a couple of failures to appear. And I remember she herself was here telling the court that it was not her. Well, Mr. Regier, we can't just leave the case sitting in limbo. We need to either get it on the docket or get it dismissed. What do you want to do?
One moment, Your Honor.
We could set it on that same docket that we're setting this one, July 23rd, if you want. And then we can resolve it one way or another.
No objection to setting that case on that same date if that is the court's order, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Phillips, you might tell Mr. Jensen we have two cases on that docket.
Yep.
Give him that 23 case, and I'm going to set that for trial too, Mr. Regier. So have your witnesses ready for that if you're going to go to trial. And let's see, do we have the defendant on? Let's see. Let me check one other matter.
Okay, so the 23, I'm sorry, the 23 case, when you say 23, you mean 23 TR 2386? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
apparently when it was taken off the docket, the state did not put it back on the docket, and it's just been kind of sitting out there,
Okay.
running the clock, as they say. So
So
I'm going to put it. I'm putting it on July 26th or 23rd at 1:30 also.
Yeah.
Okay, so was this failure to appear on that speeding?
You've had failures to appear on both of the pending cases. In this case that we came to Court on today, 23 TR 3395.
Yeah, that was the one I was never served a subpoena on because I showed up. I was here on the date on the ticket.
Hold up. I'm going to answer your question.
Yes, ma'am.
September 4th, 2024, you failed to appear for first appearance and a bench warrant issued. Then you were present January 8th, 2025, and that's when there was a discussion about you would hire an attorney, etc. So you had one failure to appear there. Now, then March 17th, we set it for bench trial. So you had one failure to appear, it looks like in this case. Now, if you go back to that 23.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, interrupt you.
Wait a minute. I'm going to answer your question, and you're going to give me time to do it. BU 2023 TR. In the 2023 TR 2386, a suspension notice, by the way, was sent to Kansas Department of Revenue, so you better be checking your license before you drive. I don't know how you came to court today, but don't go driving if your license is suspended, as it looks like it probably is.
There goes her claim that she has always had a driver's license. Consistency apparently means nothing here because, according to her own logic,
Now, in that case, you were charged and are still charged with speeding 91 in a 75, driving without insurance, and driving without a license on January or July the 12th of 23. And then the failures to appear included March 15th of 24, or I'm sorry, March 25th of 2024, you failed to appear and a bench warrant was ordered. July 3rd, 24, you were here, said you were going to hire an attorney. We set the matter for August 26th. August 26th, you failed to appear a second time and another bench warrant with an increased bond. Then December 11th, 2024, the case was called. And I don't have any indication that you or your attorney were here. And that's the hearing where Assistant County Attorney Jared Regier asked that we remove it from that day's docket. And apparently it just, as I said, just kind of has been hanging around out there ever since. So I'm putting it back on the docket. I'm setting it for trial the same day as the other case. And so with that being said, now then, Ms. Phillips, what did you want to say?
I honestly don't even remember, Your Honor.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, well then I don't think we have anything else we need to take up today. Anything else, Mr. Regier?
From the state's perspective, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is Jenna and Destiny. Can I have a breakout room with you and Mr. Regier real quick?
Before I adjourn?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll do a sidebar, basically. Well, it's not a sidebar if the defendant's not there. It's not an appropriate one. All right, let's take a quick one, but I'm. Is it concerning this case?
It is. There's a few issues, Your Honor, and I believe that they need to be taken up in a breakout room instead of.
Well, I'm not comfortable with that because the defendant has a right to be present at all stages of the proceedings. So I think you may have to just go out on a limb and state what it is that, because if it concerns this case, I can't have any one-sided conversations without both parties.
Well, it concerns the 2023-2386, not necessarily the case we have on the docket today.
Well, I still have the same rules for that case as I do for this one.
And Your Honor,
A judge can't have one-sided conversations with one party over the other. And I know, Mr. Regier, you wouldn't do that either. So what is your thought, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, may I request a brief 5-minute recess?
All right, I'll give you a 5-minute recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
We're back on the record in 23 TR 3395, also 23 TR 2386, each captioned State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier still appearing for the state. Tracy Lynn Phillips still appearing in person and pro se. Mr. Regier, you wanted a recess. Is there any announcement at this time?
Your Honor, at this juncture, the state does not believe that a sidebar would be appropriate. While the court clerk is certainly can provide whatever information the court clerk may wish to the court, the state understands that the court clerk is not a party to this case, and therefore the state, and under these particular circumstances, the state does not believe a sidebar would be procedurally appropriate.
All right. So is there anything else we need to address, Mr. Regier, before we adjourn for the day?
Not from the state's perspective, Your Honor.
Ms. Phillips, anything else we need to address before we adjourn for today?
No, ma'am. I do believe I will be back with an attorney. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Finding legal representation seems impossible while she continues living inside her fantasy world and offering leftover lunch crayons as legitimate payment. All right, everyone, that officially brings today's courtroom circus to an end. She has another hearing approaching, where she will almost certainly represent herself, whether she accepts that reality or not. Frankly, I hope the court imposes something stronger than the offer she rejected today. Unlicensed, unregistered, and uninsured drivers should not be roaming America's public roads while pretending ordinary laws never apply to them. If you enjoyed this breakdown, press the like button. If you didn't, use the dislike button instead. Either way, share your opinion in the comments and subscribe with notifications enabled so you never miss another courtroom upload from this channel.